then start. Okay, so could you please explain how you've been working with the male and female farmers in your capacity as an aggregator, including the farm business advisors?
Female farmers and male farmers,
Yes.
I think we treat them as the same.
Okay.
We do not segregate. Yeah, we get from whosoever has the commodity, whether it's a female farmer or it is a male farmer, we get the commodity from them.
All right. So, exactly, could you explain a bit further the kind of services you provide to these farmers?
Well, we get the commodity from a central place. Yeah, they are able to, through the aggregators, they are able to bring their produce to a central place. Then we go and pick it from that place. We do not charge them for the transportation. We bear that cost ourselves. So we just pick it and then we take it where we can resell it. Then we give them back their money.
All right. So when you say you don't charge them for the cost, you mean the cost from the central place to
where we are taking
okay.
the commodity.
All right. Okay. And what commodities are you getting from the farmers?
Mostly it's soybeans.
Soybeans.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, but looking at the farmers and the FBAs you are working with, would you say you have more men or more women?
I would say maybe there are more females than men.
Really?
Yes,
That's good.
because for soybeans, yeah, the females appear to be more.
Good. Are there any other commodities you get?
For now, we've just been dealing in the soybeans, but if there could be market for other commodities, we can also go into that. But for now, we've just been dealing in soybeans.
Okay. Alright. So, what is your selection criteria for working with farmers? Do you have a criteria that you use to choose whom you work with?
We of course look at the quality of the soybeans that has been produced, because out there the market demands a certain quality. Yeah, so if you get substandard quality, it means you'll be stuck with the soybeans. If you are to sell it, then it means you are to sell it at a very, very low price. You cannot even break even. So we go for those farmers that are able to produce quality soybeans.
And so when you grade the soybeans, how many grades do you have? And out of those, what do you accept?
No, normally we have not per se come up with a grading mechanism where we would say this is maybe grade A, this is grade B, and this is grade C. We just look at how the cleaning, how was it cleaned? Is it looking very clean? Has it got a lot of maybe foreign particles in there, straws, grasses, soil, small stones, such things? At least we accept the soybean which was cleaned nicely. It doesn't have foreign particles in it. There are no stones, there are no grasses. At least the winnowing was done properly. That is the soybean that we accept.
Okay. Okay, so your company, do you have your human resource department in your company? Do you have policies that actually touch on gender issues?
one, I should say,
Mm.
it's not a very, very big company,
Okay.
which maybe could maybe go into such maybe details of having a gender policy in place.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just a small company. Maybe that's when we are developing it. Maybe in the future, after maybe it grows bigger, maybe that's when we would maybe think of such things. For now,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a developing company.
Okay.
It doesn't have such a policy.
Okay. Do you have any women working with you right now
Women,
in
no,
your company?
no,
Okay. Just male.
just male.
Is there a reason why?
Well, it's one of the reasons is the work that is involved is it requires some bit of you need extra strength,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to do most of the work. So we feel maybe the men for now are most suitable to do that until maybe such a time when maybe we establish some good selling points where maybe the female folk would be positioned to do the selling.
Okay.
But for now, the selling is mostly through the middlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those middlemen wouldn't entrust them with ladies. Would want the male folk to handle those middlemen because they are also cunning at times. Yeah.
Great. So what types of trainings do you do any training programs for your staff, the men that you have around, in so that they're able to successfully work with female and male farmers?
We haven't had any
You
of
haven't
such
had.
trainings.
Okay. Would you consider doing that
Yeah, maybe in the near future.
in the near future? Okay. What types of services, business development? Okay, so you are saying that, okay, I'll skip that for now because I think you've answered it there. And then you said you don't have female staff, so I'll skip that as well. Okay. Does gender equality make business sense for your company, for you as a proprietor?
Well, gender equality, for me, what I understand is the different roles that society has ascribed according to the gender of someone. Yeah. In terms of our business, mostly the women folk are the one that do the cleaning, the winnowing, yeah, so that the soybean attains that grade that would require.
Yes.
And mostly the female folk are the ones that do the threshing because it's labor intensive. They thresh, most of them using sticks. Yeah, so the female folk does that. So after they do the threshing, then the women folk will come and do the winnowing. Then thereafter they will bag, and then they are able to stitch the bags.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, I think there is no inequality per se. There is no inequality except the roles have been divided. They have been divided. The one which is more labor intensive, the men folk have taken up that role. Then the other one is also very labor intensive because you do the winnowing. The women folk have taken up that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if I got you right, from the cleaning, the winnowing, the threshing using sticks, it's all women doing that?
No, the men do the threshing using sticks.
Because it's labor
It's
intensive.
labor intensive.
Okay.
You need to eat in Shima in the morning for you to.
We can also eat in Shima in the morning. with a small piece of meat like this and salt.
You can eat, yeah, you really need to eat in the morning
Veggies.
for you to do the threshing using sticks.
Okay, great.
Mm.
Okay. And so that means you are working with women somehow, to the extent that they do the packaging for you. They do the packaging. You are saying that they do the cleaning, the winnowing, and then the packaging. Are those people working before they bring the commodity to you?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Those work before they
They
bring
bring
the
the commodity
commodity.
to
So
you.
I was
Okay.
looking at the process.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, because it's part of your process for
Mm.
sure. Okay. What skills do women have compared to men as successful farmers, in your understanding?
In some communities, you would find that the men like mostly drinking beer, and the women are in groups, these farmer groups. So in those farmer groups, they are being taught a lot of skills: how to do the farming, how to do the planting, how to do the fertilization, how to do the weeding. Yeah. Some men folk would find that most of the time it's drinking. They wake up, they just go and drink.
Why? Is it that they have too much money?
Not really.
Why is it that they've chosen to do it that way?
No, it's the way of life in some areas. They feel when they are drinking, they are enjoying life. If they are not drinking, then they are not enjoying life. So that's the way maybe the society they live in. They feel if you are drinking, then you are enjoying life.
Okay.
If you don't drink, then you are missing a lot in life.
Okay. How confident are women as compared to men in their production abilities?
I might be seen to be contradicting myself. The few men that are into farming appear to be more competent than the women folk. Yes, the men are more competent than the women folk. But even amongst the women folk, there are a few that are quite competent in their farming activities. But overall, the men appear to be more competent.
Okay, why is that so? Why do you say so?
Oh, I don't really know why, but it could be maybe due to their abilities.
Physical abilities.
Probably their physical abilities, and also maybe most of them are the heads of their households, and they seem to be owning the majority of the land, so they have an upper hand as opposed to their female folk.
And then there are the business abilities between the female and the male folk.
That one.
How confident are women in business?
It also depends. Some women are quite competent and they are doing far much better than men. Yeah, some women are doing far much better than men.
All right. Would you be able to tell us what makes the women more confident in the business abilities than the male folk? Because you also mentioned that you have more of female customers. Yes. Why is that so?
Probably because soybeans is a cash crop, so they want money. And for female, the female folk, Normally when they raise the money,
Mm.
it is used by the entire family. But for the male folk, when they raise their money, some of it is just used by themselves.
Mm.
So the female folk have seen that if they lag behind,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe their families will suffer. So when there is a cash crop where they can raise some money,
Mm-hmm.
they go into it because they know at least they'll be able to get some extra income and they'll be able to support their families.
Okay. And then leadership abilities, comparing between the females and the males. How are the confidence levels in their leadership abilities?
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there. They are females that are head of some of the groups where men are also there.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd find maybe the chairperson there is a lady,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the vice is a man.
Okay.
Yeah, there are such groupings.
All right.
So even females, they are there in leadership.
So when your clients bring their commodity to you, are they working in groups, associations, or cooperatives, or they just bring them individually?
Most of them are in groups. Others are in women clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Others are in cooperatives. Yeah, a few, just a few,
Mm-hmm.
are just on their own as individuals, but mostly they are in groups.
Okay. And then decision-making abilities. Are women confident compared to men in their decision-making abilities? Decisions on, for instance, the crop that they feel they need to cultivate, when to sell, how to sell, for what, for how much to sell, whom to sell to. Who makes those decisions?
I think those decisions are made in consultation with the male folk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. But whom do you think has the upper hand? If the female, for instance, feels they want to sell to Mr. Kalima, so is it okay because she wants to sell to Mr. Kalima, or maybe the husband might say something like, no, let's try this other place, or yes, it's okay, before she can actually sell? Who is the final decision maker?
We are Africans. We are Africans, and we believe the man is the head of the family. Of course, they sit and then they agree where can we sell.
Yes.
But the head of the family has a bigger say. Has a bigger say.
Okay.
Even when they are in groups and when they make their decisions, you'll find that, of course, they can also come out as the women folk and say, no, maybe this is the best way to do things.
Yeah.
But the men folk normally have an upper hand.
Okay. Well understood. What are the female farmer capacity for business planning? Do they have good capacity for business planning?
For business planning, maybe they need to be
Compared
capacity
to
built.
Okay.
They need to be capacity built.
Do you see a gap in that area?
Yes, the gap is there because it's like most of them do it because they have heard another person is doing it, or another person did it,
Mm-hmm.
they were able to succeed, so they also go into it. Meaning that they lack that ability to analyze
Mm-hmm.
and see whether what they are to go in
Yeah.
would work for them
Mm-hmm.
or it would not work for them. But just because the neighbor did it, I can also do it. So I think they require that capacity building so that they are able to plan, they are able to analyze, is it worth it? Do I need to go into it? Or maybe I do something else which might even give me more money as opposed to putting my money in this. I think they lack that.
Okay. All right. Are male or female FBAs or farmers more trustworthy when it comes to providing you stock?
Male or female? Female
Who's more
are more
trustworthy?
trustworthy.
In what sense? Why do you say so?
Men are very argumentative. Just the females. In that area, they are not very argumentative. At least when you talk to them, you explain, they'll be able to understand. But men, they would think maybe you are crooking them. Yeah, so they would first of all give it a second thought. So men, female are more trustworthy.
Okay. So when you say they are more trustworthy, just elaborate a little bit more. Is it like in payment, in paying them, or in them giving you the commodity?
In them giving the commodity, because when you explain to them, they'll be able to understand easily as opposed to the main crop. Yeah. So they would be able, they'll be willing to give you as opposed to the men.
Okay. Are male or female FBAs more or less likely to earn higher commissions?
Higher commissions. When it comes to higher commissions, it's the opposite. It's the male.
They earn higher commissions?
The male, as I'm saying, the males, for them to understand, you need to do a lot of talking. Yeah, as opposed to the female. So even when you are trying to agree on commissions, for you to come to an agreement, it means you need to part away with more as opposed to the female folk.
Okay. So when these your clients bring you the commodities, do you use a standard rate or they just negotiate according to their ability to negotiate?
No, standard rate
It's
is
a
normally
standard
used.
rate. Okay. All right. So moving on, what are the main difficulties that female farmers have compared to men in the communities where you are working?
Difficulties?
Yes.
The difficulties mostly the male farmers have more resources as opposed to the female farmers.
Okay.
So even in terms of moving whatever they have, it is easier for the male farmers than the female farmers.
Transporting
to a central place. The male farmers have resources.
Okay.
So it is easier for them to organize as opposed to the female farmers.
Anything else?
Maybe from the production end, maybe. Otherwise, from the point where we pick it, mostly those are the challenges.
Okay, transport. Okay. Are men or women more likely to adapt new practices and technologies?
I think that depends on the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It can neither be a man nor a woman,
Mm-hmm.
but the individual. Because some individuals, they easily adapt to new technologies, but others, they will have to wait until they see that the technology really is working. Then that's when slowly they will come in and also adapt it. So I think on that one, it's not per se the gender, but I would say the individuals.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you ever deal with youth, like between the ages, boys and girls, ages 17 to, not boys and girls, young ladies and gentlemen, ages 17 to about 25?
Yeah, as long as they have grown some soybeans.
Okay. But have you actually seen yourself
Some,
dealing
yes.
with some? Okay, great.
Some have grown.
Okay. Would you say they're faring well
In terms of
in terms of their farming, for instance, their productivity, the products they bring to you? Yes, is it of the standard you are looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the quality is
The
okay.
quality that you are looking for.
The quality is okay.
All right, great. Would you say they also do face some challenges in getting the commodity to the central place?
Yeah, because you would find that most of those, they also don't have their resource base is also not very strong. So they also have challenges, and some of them are even school going.
Yes.
Yeah, so you would find that most of the time they are at school, and then they produce a little so that they sell and they raise some bit of money for their school. So they also face challenges because their resources, the resource base is narrow in terms of transportation.
Okay. Okay, so I'll bring you back to associations and cooperatives. How is female participation compared to male participation in these associations and cooperatives?
Some women clubs, you would find that maybe out of, if they are 40 or 35, maybe only 3 are men, the rest are women. And then in cooperatives, you would find a fairly balanced. Yeah, maybe 40 men, maybe 35 women, like that, fairly balanced composition. Okay.
All right. Great. Well, I'm seeing quite a good participation of women on board. In other places, it might be different.
Okay.
Why do you think there is such good participation here?
For women?
For women, yes.
Well, it could be attributed to a lot of work that has been done to sensitize women also to participate in most of these farmer groupings, because community development has been forming women groups, and also now the Ministry of Commerce has formed a number of cooperatives, and in those cooperatives, the bylaws indicate that for the executive positions, at least there should be positions for women. At least a certain number should be for women, and they have achieved that.
Okay.
Yeah. So nowadays, when you go to attend the meetings, previously you would find that women are just confined in some area. The women, the main folk are the ones that are maybe near to the person who's addressing the meeting. But now it's not like that, because a lot of sensitization has been done. You find the women are seated closer to where men are, and they are also able to ask questions as the meeting is progressing.
Okay. They are freely participating. Okay. All right. So you mentioned them taking some leadership roles in these cooperatives associations. Okay. Would you say they are confident in that and they are faring well, or are they just doing it because those positions have been said to be given to women?
No, they are competent.
Okay.
Yeah, they are competent because you would find that, I'll give an example. The Farmer Association, which is under Zambia National Farmers Union, the chairperson there is a lady.
Okay.
Yes, the chairperson is a lady. That is a very vibrant farmer organization. You know, the farmers that are in urban areas like Chingola are former retirees from the mines, civil service, name it. And now for you to become a chairperson there, it means I've seen there's something in you. Yeah, so it's not that they're just there because they're women. No, they are performing.
They are performing. That's good to know. And their decisions, are they respected?
Yes, they are.
Do they make decisions and those decisions are actually respected and accepted?
Yes, they make.
Okay. Great. So what are the challenges for both women and men okay, I think this you've already answered actually, but I'll just go further to extend this and ask you, in dealing with the female and male that you work with, would they rather give you commodity and get paid there and then, or they actually do also agree to like credit terms for you?
They also agree to credit terms.
Okay. What are the other constraints that females and male face in accessing services from, like, say, the other private sector? It could be in the same capacity as you, or even just in looking at the input market. What are other challenges that these people face in the whole process of farming, from procuring seed to selling the commodity to you?
Okay. Challenges are quite many for them. Yeah, because most of the farming is done using hand hoes here. There are a few that have gone into mechanization.
Okay.
And because of maybe not having a strong resource base, they cannot even hire the maybe tractors to help them with their land preparation. So mostly they depend on hand hoes, and because they want to grow a lot of crops, maybe they will hire people that can help them also with hand hoes. But you would find that those who help out using hand hoes, they are not honest. They would go to maybe more than 2-3 farmers. They are given an advance, then they will say they would help them. They just help them for a day or two, they go to another farmer, they help them for a day or two, they go to another farmer. By the time they are coming back to you, the season is not waiting for you. So you end up being delayed. You plant late, but you had a little money which you wanted somebody to help. Now because of the crookedness of the people that are helping, you are delayed. That is one constraint they face. Yeah. Then the other one is at times the availability of the certified seed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not there. You want it, you go to this shop, you don't find it. So they end up getting recycled seed, which they plant. And then soybean growing in Chingola is a bit new. They have not been growing it for a long time.
All right.
Yeah, so some of them, they do not even know how they're supposed to plant it. So they'll plant it wrongly, and then the yield is also affected. Yeah. Then of course weeds are also a big challenge. Yeah. So some farmers have not known how to use herbicides.
Okay.
They're still relying on hand weeding. So if they have also planted maize, which is our staple food crop, which they need to, whether they like it or not. And then they have also planted soybeans. Meanwhile, the maize field has weeds. So they would rather first of all concentrate on the maize field, which gives them food.
Yeah.
Then by the time they are going to the soybeans, maybe it's a bit late. So weeding is also a challenge.
Anything else?
The other one could be the unpredictable market.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Unpredictable market.
yes, you do not know how much the buyers would be buying the commodity at. It's unpredictable. So this year you are lucky, the market is good, you sell your soybeans well. And those that even delay in processing, processing their soybeans so that it is ready, you find that at the start of the marketing, the price is slightly low. Then it builds up to some point. Then if the farmer has delayed in selling, you would find that the price again has dropped. So there's that, you cannot predict it. Say, no, I'll sell my soybeans at so much. So when Mr. Kalima goes there, after maybe the first farmers sold their soybeans at a higher price, and then Mr. Kalima goes there later to say, no, I'm buying at this much, because Mr. Kalima knows where he's taking, the price has dropped. The farmer would think Mr. Kalima just wants to make a kill. And yet it's not like that.
Last time you gave me so much.
Yes, now this time we are saying it is this. But that is what the market is dictating.
Right, interesting. Okay. So how do these female and male farmers and FBAs receive information about markets?
Some of course get it through the media. Others get it through the officers. Others get it through just the people. They would tell them, no, this company is buying soybeans at so much. So if you have soybeans, you can take to Mega Eggs, for example. We have Mega Eggs here in Chingola. They also buy soybeans, so that they use it in the formulation of their feed. Yeah. So people will be saying, no, Mega Eggs is buying so much. Yeah. So information just spread like that.
How do you advertise your market?
Through the people that we contact to help us mobilize. Yeah, we tell them we are buying at so much, so please tell the farmers that have soybeans that we are ready to get it at so much.
Does that include the FBAs, the ones that are working with IDA?
Yes.
Okay.
We inform them we are buying at so much, so please can you help us? Inform the farmer if they are prepared to supply us at this price, we are ready. Then they would inform them when if they are agreeable, we move in.
Okay. Right. What are your ideas on what can be done to improve the business environment to support the male and female farmers?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it is too.
To improve the business environment. IDA should actually provide some bulking centers for them, so that last time some farmers had kept their fertilizer at some point, I mean the soybeans, and then the place was not very secure, and then rains came, so some of the soybeans got soaked, and then they started again picking it from there, taking it to their homes for fear that it would be soaked further, it would go bad. So maybe IDA should consider making for them some bulking centers where they can be taking their soybeans in a secure place, so that there would be buyers would be going to those bulking centers. It will be cheaper for the buyer, and also the farmer will know their soybeans will be safe. And since they are also putting it in one place, they also have that power to bargain, because the commodity will be more. So they will even be able to convince the buyer, look, you will get whatever you want from here in one place. You will not need to move from point A to point B. So that cost, we have taken care of it. So why can't you give us slightly better? So they will be in a better place to bargain when everything is put in one place, as opposed to the way it is. Because if you go, you pick 20 from this point, then you go and also pick 30 from the other point. As a buyer, you put all that, you factor all that into your cost. So even when you are offering the price, you have to think of that cost. Otherwise, you just do it once and you never go back, because you would have lost completely. Yeah, so if we could do that for them, that would be much better. And then, what else? I said there is a challenge in threshing, around how IDA can come in and help with the threshing.
Okay.
Madam, may I call you after maybe 20 minutes or so? Thank you. Yeah, so around how you can come in, maybe you can procure something for the community, so that whosoever has got the soybeans, then maybe they pay a little bit of a fee so that they're able to maintain that, and then they'll have the soybean easily threshed, and that way even post-harvest losses will be minimized. Because these people who are threshing using sticks, and also the women folk that are doing the winnowing, when you go to where they're doing it from, you find a lot of droppings, a lot of soybeans remain, so that reduces on their yield. So if we came up with a way of helping them,
Mm-hmm.
maybe with a thresher, and then those farmers in that locality, they take their soybeans there, they thresh,
Mm-hmm.
post-harvest losses will reduce, and also even do not be all that labor intensive as it is portrayed, because at least there will be something that will help them.
Mm-hmm. Great. That's good to hear.
Mm.
Okay, we shall surely deliver the message to IDE.
Mm.
Yes. All right. Then, what do women need to help them overcome the gaps in their resources and the skills to become more successful farmers?
Probably they can also go into other IGAs, apart from, of course, the soybean growing. If they could be given other income generating activities that maybe could help them raise some bit of money prior to the farming season. They would have at least raised something. They have some bit of money. When the farming season comes, they have some money. Then it will be easy for them to even invest that money in the farming.
Yeah. What about men? Do you think they need some assistance as well as far as resources and skills are concerned?
Yes, even men, because the level at which they are producing, it is at a very low level. Low level where, of course, it will be very difficult for them to move out of the poverty cycles. Yeah, because the level at which they are producing is low. And one of the reasons could be a limitation in the resources that they have, because they cannot do more. Their resources cannot allow them. So even them too, if they can be assisted, that would be much better, because it would mean they would produce more, which can help them come out of the poverty cycles.
What kind of resources are these?
The resources can be in terms of inputs. Yeah, in terms of inputs, if they are assisted with some inputs, and also in terms of maybe some soft loans. Because you can give them, say, inputs for them to do 2 hectares. But if they don't have extra money to use in terms of labor to help them, you will find that even what they got for 2 hectares will not be managed well. So they will still not be able to produce the desired number of bags. Yeah. So if they have also some bit of money to take care of the labor issues, at least they'll be able to manage.
And the income generating activities that you spoke about, do you have any suggestions of other kind of income generating activities
For the women?
for the women?
Most of these women actually they have those groups I talked about. Others are women groups, and those women groups have a number of income generating activities that they propose to undertake. But you would find that maybe because of resources, they fail. So some of the income generating activities could be maybe vegetable growing. Yeah, vegetable growing, they can do that. Others do knitting, they knit jerseys for for school going. They'll be able to do that, and then they sell those jerseys, they raise some bit of money. Others, they would go into even poultry, they keep some broilers. After 6 weeks or 7, they are able to resell those. At least they have some bit of money.
What about the youth? How do you think they can be helped?
The youth need to be incorporated in trainings. Yeah, in trainings they need to be trained so that they understand what they are doing. It's not just the sake of doing it.
Yes.
They need to understand what they are doing. So they need to be capacity built in whatever they are involved in. If it is soybean production, they need to be capacity built in soybean production. The whole process. Yes. And also, depending on the mass of idea, you can also propose value addition to what they produce. Instead of just selling it all, is it possible that they can start processing at farm level so that they add value? And when they add value, then they sell the product. So if you are able to come up with value addition activities, that will also help them. They should be able to do the nice packaging, labeling nicely the product so that they're able to sell. Instead of just Mr. Kalimarketing it without adding any value. If they're able to add value to it, they will be able to make more money for themselves, and also they will even create some bit of employment because there will be people who would be employed to add that value.
And as we wind down, Mr. Kalima, I'll ask you, what would you change in your own work, in your own business, in the way you work with the FBAs and farmers to overcome some of these challenges that you have identified?
What I can change? It's very
Or
difficult.
maybe not change, but what would you take to help in solving some of these challenges that your clients meet?
Maybe what I would propose is that they should be, the farmers should be more organized.
Okay.
More organized in the sense that from the word-go, from the time when they are planning to go into soybean production, they should know what is it that they want to do. What kind of soybeans is the market looking for? Is it something very shriveled, nice, round? How can they produce that?
Okay.
So that even when they produce it, the buyer will not hesitate to get it, because the buyer would know that where I'm also taking it, they will not hesitate to buy it from me. And also would expect them to be honest, because when the buyer is buying, the soybeans is packed in bags. We might not do the sampling to see what is contained in it, but when you go to resell, at times the buyer would want to repack it.
Yes.
And then in the process of repacking, you'll find that it contains this, it contains that. So that makes the buyer lose out, because the person who's buying says, no, look at the soybeans you have brought to me. No, this is low grade. I'm not getting it. Now you look at the cost, how much you have put in so far, so you are forced to compromise so that you don't continue being where you have taken it. So we expect that our farmers are better organized. They should be truthful. You know, in business, when you lie, then it means you are not disadvantaging only that person, but also yourself, because it will come back to you. It means when we discover that this came from that area,
Mm.
we'll stop even getting from there.
Mm.
Then if we fail to stop getting from there, they'll be stuck with their commodity, which is not good. So the people that are organizing them, let them do a good job, so that the buyer is not complaining, and then the buyer, if he's not complaining, then the relationship will be strengthened.
Yes. Thank you very much for that information, and you've turned my last question the other way, but it's very good that you did, because
Okay.
yeah, because I was actually it's given more insight. Great. Okay. So unless you've got some additional observations yourself or comments, if you feel that there are certain questions I haven't asked, and you have some information that you'd like to share to improve, to add value to this process, please feel free to do so.
Oh, madam, you have every handled them.
Really?
You have every handled everything. I was even saying, is it going to come to an end?
Okay, so let me officially say this is the end of our interview.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, when I saw that call coming in, I was like, okay, so now